Hello and welcome to Superweek TV 2025. We are on day 4 of the conference.
Yes.
Thank you guys. And we're also on day 2 of Superweek TV. Today we are going to be looking at, well, it's the swag session, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Swag session. We're going to review the partner swag. We're also going to have a bit of a chat about what happened yesterday. Lots of interesting things happened yesterday. Discussions, talks and discussions, the panels, and also what we've got in store for today as well. So Fosca, how was your day yesterday?
Actually, yesterday was quite nice.
Yeah.
It begins with the Italians, as we know them. They are here for quite a long time, Matteo and Roberto. Also this year they take something really interesting about GA4. It was nice. I didn't have the chance to look at it because we were here for the first day, but definitely they say great things. And I had the opportunity to see another couple of speeches. So Matthew, that you will interview today, if I'm not wrong, about decision making and so on, which are the good questions to ask. And sometimes we just get stuck on questions that are not the right ones, and there are some that can really help us out in our day-to-day. And also, I witnessed the presentation of one of your colleagues, but maybe you know a little bit more about it as a GA4 dataform.
Yeah, well, so the GA4 dataform team, I think they call themselves Superform, the collective. They started last year at Superweek with an idea of like, hey guys, we're all building the same stuff for the GA4 dataset in dataform. And they figured, let's collaborate. So they all work at different agencies or different companies, but they're all superstars when it comes to data transformation. And yeah, they built an awesome product that's actually being used by a lot of people already in the audience. And yeah, it's now 1 year later and they showed the learnings of their pod, and it was very well received from what I gathered. I was unfortunately here, but I did saw parts of the presentation.
I mean, the concept is fantastic. If you look at like the whole GA4 rollout, you know, it's a memorable occasion. It wasn't the smoothest, but we're really seeing the community kind of come together, right?
Yeah, they're solving a real need. So the audience reaction was very obvious. I heard a lot of great feedback. So yeah, they're touching on an interesting point, and we use it for our clients already. Like Christian is one of the people working on it, and it's super useful. So,
and you don't know it, but I will interview it in a couple of.
Nice.
Yeah.
Super nice. Yeah.
I want to mention one talk. So another thing that happened last year at Superweek was, so Jill Quick gave a talk about integrating scope surveys into measurement strategies, and that's actually something that she was talking to us about last year at Superweek. So you see how these thoughts get formed and grow over a year and then turn into a Superweek talk a year later. So I think that's pretty cool to, if you're here for a couple of years, you kind of see these things start to exist, right? Out of nowhere, out of thoughts, and grow into a fine, polished Superweek talk. So that's pretty cool to me to see that evolution.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, I only got to see Krista's talk because I was in here as well. But one thing I loved about it was, you know, seeing someone, Krista, who we've known for so long, has such a huge following, moving away from Google and into the field and sharing her knowledge about, you know, scoping, setting expectations. So all this hygiene factor of dealing with clients and expectation setting, you know, and also making sure that the training starts very early in the whole process of the engagement. There was some absolute gold in her talk, and I really look forward to...
If you liked her talk, I did an interview with her yesterday here.
Yes.
About
covering
a large part of that.
Yeah, so that's great. So have a look at the video on demand, Rick's interview with Krista. Definitely some gold nuggets in with her wisdom.
Yeah, I had also the opportunity to see the Steen Rasmussen presentation. So as we know, Steen is a really good at presenting every year.
Conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, you also had an interview with him,
yes,
right?
with whiskey.
Good.
So very high quality interview.
And but it's nice. He also, if you want also to check online on LinkedIn on his profile, because every year or every time he does a presentation, he wants feedback, so he can improve what he does for the next conference. So it was really also nice to see. He also speak about AI as the tough subject.
One of the many.
Yeah, and one of his earlier talks, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, was getting your data ready for AI.
Yeah.
Which is now we're pushing data into this machine that's doing wonders, but it's still the same old rule, garbage in, garbage out. So yeah, but Steen Rasmussen, he's great to follow on LinkedIn because he's always sharing his latest updates.
And airplane selfies.
And airplane selfies, of course. Yeah.
I think one other thing we should mention was it's in the schedule as State of the Nation Fireside, but it was the Fireside Chat.
Yeah.
Every year there's a unscripted evening, so to say. And the last 2 years been hosted by Doug Hall. So last year, Doug was suddenly unemployed. So the Fireside Chat was about those things happening, and
And I think Simo couldn't make it. His flight was
exactly
was cancelled. Yeah. And now Doug is snapped up by Duga Digital. It didn't take too long, right?
Yeah. But it was a great Fireside Chat. Like a lot of interesting insights about the dynamic. Well, the original topic was partnerships. So how agencies can collaborate with other agencies, or how agencies can collaborate with vendors, and it turned into a really open discussion on like what works and what doesn't work, and especially what doesn't work. Like there's obviously a lot of friction between vendors pushing agencies to say certain things to clients, like that's the best tool, right? Lying. So it was good to have this open discussion and to hear everybody's thought. Also, there were people from vendors, there were people from agencies, people from large agencies. So it's very interesting to.
And it's great how they open the mic and encourage people to join the stage. And to have a voice, I think, is really important in this very strong community-based forum right here at Superweek. So that was really great. And there was also the vendor panel as well. That was always interesting to see vendors talking.
They stayed pretty polite, right?
Yeah.
They weren't battling.
Yeah, no, but I don't think there was much overlap this year. I mean, but it's. We see from the brand leadership community side, we see there is a huge need for the brands, the vendors, and the agencies to really sort their relationship out, because there's always conflict. There's not enough transparency. The focus is always wrong, and there's no one of them is at fault. They're all, whether it's the brand, which can be very slow and bureaucratic, the agency, which is at a fast pace. And the vendors, might be dominated by over-eager sales guys, right, or girls, who are really just pushing their quota. And this is, hopefully, we're seeing less of that. I had a great chat with Thomas Togner, the CEO of Gentis.
Yeah. That also spoke yesterday. So.
And he spoke yesterday, and he was so abuzz with the concept of community, which I think, and you covered a lot of community last time, and it's the fact that we as community can get together and make a difference. And in fact, it was, I think, the last session that Simo and Krista did when it was about community. Simo did a blog post about it, and that went right up the Google tree. Yeah. And then they made a conscious effort to revisit, at least back in some of the directions. So it's great to see that we can make a difference here.
One cool thing Thomas, the CEO of Gentis, also announced yesterday that they decided to open up Gentis in a free community version with all features enabled. Yeah. And low hit volumes, right? But so that everybody in this community can actually test their technology and give feedback and learn. So that's an interesting move.
And that's also, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's one of the things that they mentioned. And having a guy like Eddie, who I had on the couch here for the first time, we share the passion of community together as well. And to really see a company like Gentis really evolve into that whole community mindset, which Superweek's been like that, Measure Camp's been like that as well. So,
what are you guys going to talk about today? Who are you going to interview?
Wow. Actually, I really like this question because, as you spoke about the vendor panel, I will focus a lot about analytics tool, but from the point of view of the clients.
Okay.
So I will have a talk about different tools this afternoon. So I will have a guy from like Nicolas Malo that will speak about piano, and Doug Hall that will speak about Piwik Pro, And actually for snow plow, we have Katie Wales, sorry, that also will speak. She's speaking now.
Yeah, she's speaking right now.
So actually,
the so what of machine learning.
Yeah, exactly. So it will be really nice, interesting also to see from the perspective of the users. And also I will have another talk where your actually colleague will join me with it's difficult to pronounce, so I really already forgive myself, but it's Hugo Garcel that will speak tomorrow about alternative thinking and being tool agnostic. So it's kind of nice, so we will see other kind of perceptions. And maybe I can be also a kick for one of you guys. I will also have Elena Nisi and also you. And we are going to speak about her speech about sustainability in analytics. And due to the fact she is also the winner of the Golden Punchcard, she will give us the introduction to this year.
She's talking today also about green analytics.
Yeah, no, super interesting. Yeah, I've mine at 12 o'clock. Robert Petkovic, we're talking about core metrics for brands. So one of the things that my objective here is to this is a great analytics and data conference, but how do we get the great minds be able to communicate in other business units within an organization, within the brand? So that's how do we use the right wording and terminology? And this is the core metrics for brands, for people in sales, in marketing, in senior management, because the reality is Superweek, MeasureCamp is great, but we have our own language at times, right? That only the data nerds will understand, the data scientists will understand. So how do we bridge that gap? I'm very much into how do we talk about data silos. I talk about human silos. Is that we have a lot of all organizations by human nature will be very tribal, which can be good, but can also stifle innovation because people are staying in their lane. So hopefully through metrics and data, I see that as something that if it's projected in the right way from the top, core metrics, it can really bring the whole organization together. So that's that one that we're doing. Astrid is co-hosting with Astrid Ilum, which I trialed first time last year and see if I could hopefully not torment her too much from co-hosting and asking questions, but she really enjoyed it, and I loved her line of questioning as well. Yeah. So we're looking at having another Danish colleague called Martin Madsen, who's with the UNHCR, but his background goes way back into online groceries and further. He's a hardcore coder, super nice guy, no BS from him. So, and these two have huge respect for each other. It's really great to see that, and really talk about how we're going from personal journey to more hyper-personalized experiences. And this is something that I'm going to dig in a bit deeper with Astrid, because I could see her eyes lighting up, and I heard a lot of great feedback from her talk as well. So yeah, and then I'm going to finish the day with Marie from Piano. And that's she's a hard one to catch because she's working on the stage these days, right? We might pull in another guest as well, but again, it'd be great to catch up from Marie's point of view. I mean, Piano is a very strong product in France, but it's very little known, like in the Nordics as well. But it's great to see that there's the GDPR born and bred compliant tool. What's the potential in that? How they see the future of analytics as well, and not just having the Google vision. So super excited, and also you spend the day planning for tomorrow. You guys know what it's like. It's just nonstop.
I'm gonna have a talk. I'm gonna have a talk after this, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, with Dan Truman and Matthew Brandt, and the three of us are both in a situation, or all three of us are in the situation that we've hired our first few hires, like over the last couple of years. So how do you do that? What do you look for? And we already established we have way different approaches, so that's going to be interesting. So there's not a right way, but it's going to be interesting to share that knowledge. I'm going to have a chat with Chris, Paula, and somebody else from the large bank.
Italian bank,
yeah. So all three people working in very large organizations, like really, really, really large organizations, and they're all analytics leaders, and they're all concerned with fostering a culture of analytics. So I am very much outside of that world. So it's very interesting to me, like, what does that look like for you? And also, what would you expect from a small agency like me? So I'm just going to be selfish and ask those questions, right?
It would be also nice also from a team perspective, no?
Yeah.
I see on the notes you've got a community, in-house community. Which,
Exactly, yeah.
And I'm going to watch that one.
Yeah.
Me too.
So that should be fun. And I have a talk with Matt Gershoff, because Matt released a paper yesterday or the day before. I have really no clue what's in that paper. It's way too advanced for me, which is typical Matt. Or that has more to do with my lack of understanding. But Matt is basically talking about how to do privacy-friendly experimentation. And it's the underpinnings of his software, Conductrics. And that's going to be an interesting chat, because by definition, if you want to experiment, you kind of need to understand who the user is. So how are you going to do that in a privacy-friendly way? And he has an advanced method of how he has built that into their tools. So that should be super interesting. Privacy by design approach to experimentation. So those are my planned talks, and maybe we squeeze something else in.
Yeah.
But there's a few gaps there. We
We still have some, but we also have something nice to show. And we spoke about piano, we spoke about Conductrics, and we also have some swag.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, no, this is what everyone's
That
waiting
is
for, right?
that is the thing.
This is the highlight of this session.
I was waiting just for that.
Yeah. So should we go through the Superweek stuff first? So this is the new designs for this year. Still with the flags and this star snowflake.
Have you noticed there is a American team somewhere? Yeah, here. So these are the American states.
Oh,
wow.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So maybe that's a hint at something. You never know.
No, you never know. But there's still the international theme of lots of flags, bright colours.
Yeah.
I like this one though.
It's new, that one.
I like the simple ones, and this is
That's
like
really nice.
let's call it a Super Mario themed one, right?
Yes.
Super nice.
I like it.
Yeah, and I have my my edition from 2 years, so the same super good quality beanies. You know, living in the Nordics for me, walking the dog, I am my head and my ears are so warm with this.
Yeah, I brought one of those for my daughter.
Yeah, I had to get
Bright collar.
I had to get Zolly to send me one the other year because I ended up giving one away, and then I was like, oh, that's the one I shouldn't have given away. Yeah. So what have we got next, Fosca?
Piano.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm really sad about it because I come, as you know, on Tuesday, and everything was already gone.
Oh.
So piano swag is the first one that's like really went away so fast. And we are lucky because that is from the piano guys that I really reached out for.
Yeah.
You robbed them.
Yeah,
That's
this
a
morning.
detective notepad, and this is this is more than the usual shopping bag, isn't it? It's got a nice
It's really nice.
PVC feel to it as well. So it is like the official Superweek, but with piano having the main dibs on that, which is super great.
And we have the other sponsor.
Yes.
So
We have the Conductrix gloves, which we know not keep our hands warm.
And I also think they are touchscreen.
I think they were. We can test that theory again this year, but I remember a couple of years ago they were.
I want to mention though, from Conductrics, what you guys missed. They also brought a bunch of stuff to the pub quiz on Monday evening. So they had miniature slot machines, and they had a lot of whiskey as prizes and to just drink. So they did a great job on that front. What else did they have? Of course, the Conductric box, right?
Do you have any? No.
The money is sponsored by Conductrics, so you pay for your coffee, tea, or beers with a Conductric box. So that's essential swag of Superweek.
So note to Conductrix, all three of us are out of Conductrix bucks. You know where we are.
Come find us.
Our pockets are empty, and we need some more alcohol. And love this shirt as well, right? You know, the best bandits remain anonymous. I know my son loves all the nerdy analytics shirts and swag.
Should be good for the year again.
Getting him that one because it's you go back, and the great thing about swag is you go back into the world and you can't get this stuff anywhere until you run into someone else who's wearing, and it's like, hey,
insiders.
So it's so important for the community side, the whole swag side of things, isn't it? So yeah, there we go.
And of course, we have the shoppers.
Yes.
First
Oh, the bags. Yeah. Did we have more of the bags here?
No,
we
I
didn't.
don't think so, but there were 4 of them.
The tote bags. Yeah.
So that is
Yeah.
is really nice.
And again, of course, the program book, which those, I mean, I have these, the collection of these with, you know,
Yeah.
the team here, Zolly does a fantastic job with the attention to detail. We've got a perfectly bound book. I mean, I worked in publishing for 8 years, magazine, and I miss it. Just the feeling of getting something printed and seeing it. And this is, love them. So I often bring a couple back.
Who's going to bring home these cubes?
You know, I don't know, but I think they're pretty cool.
You think
as
we
well.
can take them on a flight?
I don't have space, but
I'm just, you know what, I'm waiting for Jeshua to actually jump out of one of our things. I just
Well,
know that
it's not too late. He can
it's
still
not
do that.
too late. Yeah, definitely. Yes. Anyway, guys.
that it was also nice. And one thing that maybe is important to say.
Punch card.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there are already a lot of people writing.
Let's start
about-
with what is the punch card.
Yeah. Okay. Go. Yes, sir.
The golden punch card, the golden,
Actually,
winning the golden
should we
ticket.
explain what a punch card is? Because
Yeah.
there are
Yeah,
a lot of people in the generation.
Yeah, you probably have to do that. You're the
Well, yeah, I'm the oldest one. Well, I actually worked for IBM for many years, the actual creator, and we would get these massive machines that were the computers of, you know, the 50s and 60s, where you had paper punch cards with holes in it that stored the data. So one punch card was a record. So to feed it in, you would feed in these punch cards. And I remember on the floor there were all the little cardboard things from the punch cards. But this was at the end of the age of punch cards, so we'd get the machines coming back in, replaced with the mainframes. But it shows that, you know, this is a historic part of computing, right? Was the punch
Yeah.
cards. And so here at Superweek, it was started as a part of their awards.
Yeah, so it's basically everybody can sign up. It is a nerd contest. So everybody's been working on something, some pet project. There's not a lot of hard rules about it, but I think the community kind of likes if it's like open source, shared with the community, open to use, right? So if you just show something and then you don't share it, then you probably won't win. But yeah, people build analytics documentation systems in Google Sheets that are fully automated and that the community can then use. So there's all these interesting things, Chrome extensions, whatever, right? People will have amazing things. And last year, I think there were almost 18, 20. It was a very long session. So tonight, we will have the Golden Punch Card again. So people can sign up. There's an email address on the website if you are watching this and you are at Superweek. But yeah, submit your ID. Even if it's not totally finished, if it's unpolished, that's actually good, right? It can be a little bit rough around the edges. And yeah, present it to the community, and then one person will win the Golden Punch Card.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's runner-up prizes as well, I believe.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I think showing it to the community is the real thing, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after that, yeah, the rest is nice.
We
Yeah,
need to wrap up
Yeah.
and leave the stage to you afterwards.
Yes.
Yes.
So stay with us today.
Yeah,
Enjoy
keep
the
your
show.
eye out. Stay tuned to Superweek TV.
Like and subscribe
Like and
Exactly.
subscribe on LinkedIn, on YouTube,
on everywhere.
on everywhere. Look up Superweek. Thank you, and we'll see you through the day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bye bye.